just announced Merrick Garland as his nominee for the vacant Supreme Court seat. Garland is the Chief Justice for the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, a court whose influence over federal policy and national security matters has made it a proving ground for potential Supreme Court justices. The move sets up a likely showdown with Republican leaders who are promising to block any action until after the November election. And speaking of that election, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are now even closer to facing off against each other in November. Both presidential candidates scored a string of impressive delegate wins last night. Votes are still being counted in Missouri, with the results there still too close to call. Don Champion has more.
Donald Trump now has more than half of the delegates needed to win the Republican presidential nomination.
My numbers went up. I don't understand it. Nobody understands it.
North Carolina, Illinois, and Florida were all big wins for Trump, but his loss to John Kasich in Ohio creates an obstacle for the frontrunner.
I want you to know the campaign goes on.
Trump's rivals are trying to prevent the frontrunner from clinching the nomination before the convention.
And then get to Cleveland, where the convention will be held, and then have a convention fight. But even in that strategy for John Kasich, he's got somebody in front of him, who is Ted Cruz.
Cruz is still second in the delegate count. Even with Marco Rubio out of the race now, Trump will need to win nearly 60% of remaining delegates, which might be challenging. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton scored a string of impressive and even surprising wins, giving her a commanding delegate lead.
Thank you, Florida. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you, Ohio.
She is now nearly 2/3 of the way to the Democratic nomination, but Bernie Sanders remains determined and defiant.
You do not have to accept the status quo. We can do better.
CBS News exit polls from Tuesday showed more voters believe Clinton would make a better commander-in-chief than Sanders and that her plans were more realistic. Don Champion, CBS News, Miami.
And back here locally, we have some breaking political news. Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey just announced within the last few minutes that he will not seek re-election to the state Senate. The Lieutenant Governor has been a lawmaker for 24 years, serving in the House for 4 years before going to the Senate for 20 years. He has served as the Lieutenant Governor of the state for the last 10 years. In his statement released on Facebook and announced before the General Assembly today, he says he will be focusing on increasing his commitment to his family. And finally, if you know someone who is looking for a job or hoping to start a new career, listen up. News Channel 5 is partnering with the Nashville Convention and Visitors Court for a big event. The Hospitality Industry Job Fair is taking place a week from today on Wednesday, March 23rd. It's a great opportunity to connect with some of the area's most vibrant hotels, restaurants, attractions, and more. It's from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. in the Davidson Ballroom at the Music City Center. For more details, go to newschannel5.com and click on news links.